All right, hi. So we are doing orientation, congruence, and how they affect each of the different transformations. So I made a quick little table here so we can see which ones are affected. And I have these little guys here to help illustrate some of those things. So let's go ahead and start into it. We'll try to make this kind of quick. Translations, we know those words as slides, right? So when I slide something up, down, left, right, does it flip? Because remember in our last video, we said orientation of a figure. Does it flip when you slide something? Does it do this? No, it just slides. So we're going to say, yes, it preserves the orientation of the figure. I'm going to put a yes there. Okay. Um, does it preserve the orientation of the vertices? Does this guy rotate when we slide something? No, it just slides left, right, up, or down. So we're going to say no. Wait, that's not right. We should say yes. It does preserve the orientation of the vertices. Nothing changes here. So preserves means to keep, right? So even us math teachers make mistakes. That was a typo, so disregard. But yes, it preserves the orientation. So it keeps the orientation. So what about congruence? Does this, when I slide it, change shape, change size? No. So it does preserve congruence. So nothing changes with this. It stays the same. So yes, it preserves orientation. Yes, it preserves vertices. Yes, it preserves congruence. Okay. Now let's look at a reflection. When we're talking about reflections, we're reflecting things over the x-axis and y-axis. When I reflect something, we think of those as flip, right? So if I reflect something, does it flips over the axis, so it's no longer looking in the same direction, right? So the axis, the x-axis and y-axis change. So the orientation of the figure itself does not preserve, okay, because it flips. Um, but when I rotate something over the x or y axis, does it turn? Do the corners turn? Does it turn like this when I rotate? No, it does not turn. So the orientation of the vertices does stay the same. So yes, the orientation of vertices are preserved. Now, what about congruence? Does the size and shape change with a reflection? No. A reflection should be the same image looking back at itself. So we're going to say yes, it preserves congruence. It stays the same size. Okay. Next, let's look at rotations. So rotations, when we talk about rotations, we're talking about turns. We're talking about corners. So if we're looking over here, this star or whatever you want to call it, if I turn this, um, this is not a rotation. This is a reflection. This is a flip. So does a rotation affect the axis of the figure? Say it does preserve it because it does not flip axes when you rotate. Okay, it does not flip axes; it just turns. So now on to the vertices, the corners. If I rotate this corner of this paper, is it in the same location as it once was? No, it's no longer there. So the orientation of my vertices do in fact change. Okay. In fact, this picture is changing. It's no longer in the same location. It's rotating, it's turning. So we now can say that it does not preserve the orientation of the vertices. The corners do indeed move. Okay. In my last video, I said orientation of vertices, think turn, and orientation of figure, think flip. Okay. So lastly, orientation or preserving congruence. Does the figure, when rotated, change size or shape? Well, when I turn this, it does not get bigger, it does not get smaller. Okay, so we're going to say yes, it does preserve congruence. Okay, and for the last one, dilations. what happens with a dilation? I need a bigger thing to help me out with. So I'm going to use this guy to help. So if I apply scale factor to this thing here, this one's bigger. So the scale factor is more than one. But from here, from my original to my new, did it turn? No. So we would say orientation, it didn't flip either, right? So we're going to say the orientation was preserved. So yes, orientation is preserved for dilations. Did it turn from here to here? It just got bigger. It didn't turn. So we're going to say it did not turn. So orientation is preserved. And lastly, does this preserve congruence? Well, did they stay the same size and shape from original to new? No. This clearly got bigger. And because it got bigger, we're going to say no, it did not preserve congruence. Now, if you look at this, only one of these does not preserve congruence, and it's dilations. Okay? Only one of these does not preserve orientation of vertices, it's rotations. Only one of these does not preserve orientation of a figure, that's reflections. And translations, nothing changes. It just slides left, right, up, and down. Okay? So hopefully that illustration is helpful for you. If not, please comment below if you need more understanding. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and share for more content. There will be more coming out, so be on the lookout for it. Thanks, and until next time.